Welcome to Find You Fridays. It's me, Lorene Hughes. How are we doing? Hopefully you're all doing well. Let's open that up. There we go. Beautiful. Everything appears to be where it's supposed to be, so that's lovely. I don't know why that's saying to me strange things, but anyhow, hi. How are you doing today? Hopefully you're doing well. And I trust that everything is well and right in your world. And for those of us who are here in the safety of South Australia, welcome. It's lovely to have you with me. And hi, Melinda. Good evening to you too. And hi, Edwina. Oh, thank you. Thank you. They were a gift from a friend many years ago. And I was just like, I feel like they have to be with us today. So thank you. So yeah, I'm very happy to be here today. I've had a very, very relaxed day. I've been in my pajamas all day. And then I literally had a shower, put on a face for you guys to come here and be with you. So hi. You get the privilege of being in my happy little world. All right. I just gotta make this say yes, it's fine. Oh my Lord. Hi Amanda. Hello. Yay, you're back. That's awesome. I've been watching your travels and enjoying your photos as you're going around. I'm glad you're not heading up to Upper Queensland right now. I think that would be a bit of an interesting journey for you if you did. Hi, Debbie. Hello, hello, hello. Yeah, I have actually got a couple of feather type earrings, but one of them it's a set that I got in Bali, but unfortunately the chains have gotten really tarnished for some reason. I don't know why. Because I haven't kept them really any differently to what I did all my other ones. And yeah, they tarnished. So I'll try and clean them one more time, but otherwise I might just replace the chain part and be done with it, because the feathers are so beautiful. But I don't really feel like having tarnished neck, because they are quite long. They hang, the chain parts are like that long. So, and then the feathers come down to about here. So they're pretty epic as well. And then I've got another set of earrings that has like these sort of what is it, dream catcher feel to them, that I got when I was in Nevada in the USA. Amanda says, I'm having some amazing experiences. My head was pumping inside one of the historical caves. Ooh, that would have been really interesting. It's super energetic. Love it. I actually saw the Sunken Garden down in, I know you're nowhere near this right at the moment, but the Sunken Gardens at Mount Gambier again today popped up in my vague scrolling briefly that I was happening on Facebook today, and I was like, hi Rick. I'm doing well, thank you. How are you? I love it. Gifted roses, thank you. Smiley face and roses and feathers. What more could a girl ask for? So we've got a couple of readings that have been paid for a little while ago from some that are really ready to be used. So I'm trying to hurry up with the weekly reading. So this will be from the 8th of March through to the 14th of March. Woohoo! We've got a full moon happening on the 14th of March. So we've struck the big ones this month with the new moon and the full moon hitting on our Fridays. So that's a bit exciting. So yes, I'm looking forward to seeing what these energies are going to bring us for this full moon, because I know that we've had an awful lot of interesting relationshipy type energies coming up with our lovely Venus retrograde, and we've also this week just gone had a total eclipse happen, lunar eclipse happen on the 4th. So if you felt some really interesting energies come up, relationship, communication type stuff come up this last week, that'll be why. But I'm certainly ready for the coming into this next week. We've also got a Mercury retrograde happening next Saturday. So in this week to come, highly recommend backing up your technology. If it's saying to do any updates, please do it this week. Do the backups of stuff, get things cleaned out. Oh yeah, more energy, Rick. We're really just doing a big fat clear out. I think it's bloody interesting, that's for sure. So let us have a look about this week. Okie dokie. Okay, cool. I'm just laughing at what this has said, given what I was just saying. So we are using our Doreen Virtue pack for our weekly reading. It's the Archangel Oracle cards. One of the very, very first sets that I ever purchased. So it's been with me for a long, long, long time now. We're very comfortable with each other. Don't always like what each other has to say, but generally we're good. Every healthy relationship, right? Oh, Amanda says that a full moon will be a mini eclipse too. I hadn't caught that one. So thank you for educating us around that one as well. That's an interesting one. So our first card for this week to come is sensitivity. So it says you are extra sensitive to energies and emotions right now. Honor yourself and your feelings. So honoring yourself and your feelings can look like some really... it can mean a couple of things. Honoring yourself can mean shutting the fuck up and saying nothing and just being with yourself. And I saw a really great cartoon today of, were you actually taught how to self-regulate? Were you taught how to really sit with your emotions and allow them to go through to completions, especially those harder ones, especially those ones where you're angry or sad, or like it might start out as anger, and as this cartoon suggested, it went from anger through to grief, through to, just sadness, until it got to a point where it's like, actually, I'm okay with this now. All right, actually, that wasn't as bad as what I thought. Have you learned how to do that for yourself? Because in those moments where it's high emotion, we often forget to do that sort of stuff. Hi, Judy. And I can honestly say I have more so lately just gone, I'm just gonna be with myself for a bit on this. And then if I feel like after I've really percolated or rather processed it more, then I'll see if I bring it up with whoever it is involving, whether it be myself or with other people. I'll actually sort of pause for a bit. And I've been doing that a hell of a lot more this month. And it's not about being a people pleaser, although that is something that I have done in the past. It's like when it's the people pleaser thing, you just squash it down and don't process it. But when you're in this space of conscious alignment, to me it's more about just seeing what is necessary. So if we go back to the 4 agreements, it's around being impeccable with your word. So rather than just flying off the handle, you can go, let me look at this from a few different sides before I say anything. And sometimes even when we're being very sensitive to things like this card is suggesting for this next week, because obviously we've got Venus and happening in our little planetary alignments and things like that, we're going to be really sensitive to other people and emotions and heightened states of like, and like when the temperature is up or temperature is really cold, like those extreme ends of temperature, or for the people on the East Coast, for them being, they're literally facing down a natural disaster. Emotions are going to be running high. So that's the best time to just re-still yourself and just be that space of calmness, not only for yourself, but for the people around you. Be the leader rather than the follower. That's what that card is inviting you to this week. Okay? Be aware that the sensitivities are going to be up, not only for you, but for the people around you, and be the leader of your world and the invitation for others to do the same. We have spiritual understanding, which is the next card. And this ties in with that first card. And it says, I am bringing you esoteric information and symbols, helping you to understand your spiritual truths. So again, it's looking at those number things when they pop up. I was having a conversation with my friend. I sent her a telegram message. It was 2121. I had a look at the angel number. What does that mean? And I looked at it in reference to, and looked at it, and it was like, it was perfect for what was in reference to the message that I just sent her. And I was like, interesting, right? So your guides, your team are trying to send you these messages all the time, but you'll be way more aware of it this week, way more. It's not all doom and gloom, my friends. Oh, Amanda, I love it. Hi, Tony. Hi. We've got a brilliant idea. So it's not all doom and gloom this week, honestly. As we're moving into this lovely full moon energy, there's this real sort of ramping up of energy and a ramping up of like within you, the physical energy to keep moving and get like a little Energizer bunny with the, my brain just went somewhere. You don't want to hear that. Basically, when I see this card, I see it in regards to this lovely big lightning bolt. And Archangel Uriel is basically sending that boom straight down your crown. And it's coming down into your heart, and it's just like firing you up, like, oh yeah, you got a big huge jolt of energy to get up and do that thing. Even if it's something as small as, you know what, it's the weekend, I'm actually going to write a to-do list this weekend. If you're not usually writing a to-do list, or you've sort of let it slide for a while, and the to-do list starts calling to you, I think I might write a to-do list. And suddenly you have so much energy to get that to-do list done, or doing a to-do list for the week and going, oh, these are the things I'm going to achieve for this week. Fantastic. Yeah, high five to me. And you can apply the same principle, obviously, to business, to work, to all sorts of things, to your relationship, to whatever is going on in your world, whatever is the big thing in your world right now. And it's wonderful to work from a task list. I've known many times people who write task lists and never do them. They almost use them as a way to punish themselves. And I'm like, no, that's not the way a task list is supposed to work. One of the tricks with task lists is to write things on them. Say you've already gotten up, you've had a shower, you've gotten dressed, you have had your water, you've had your first coffee. If you write those 5 things right at the top of your list and then carry on and write the rest of your list, you'll actually find you'll be more inclined to continue on with your list when you can go, yep, tick, I got up today. Go me! Tick, I had a shower. Fantastic. Tick, I got dressed. Yay! And it's like you give yourself your own little dopamine hit straight away before you've done any of the big stuff. So, and that then gives you the oomph to keep moving. It's like, oh, what's the next thing I can tick off the list today? And it's quite an interesting little trick. I picked it up from somewhere years ago. And I was like, and that's one of the ways I got my last task list done. I had like 20 things to do. And I ended up doing more than 20. But there was other things that got added to the bottom. And then there was a couple of things that I didn't get done. But that's okay. I didn't beat myself up because I got way more done than I thought I was ever going to do for the weekend. Oh, dear. So, yes, don't be surprised if you have a real big surge of energy towards actually getting your task lists done this week. Spread your wings. This lovely full moon energy. We're going to be coming, obviously from shadow period into the full moon towards the end of the week. And we've been seeing this brilliant idea and spread your wings pairing quite a bit lately. So that tells me that despite all of this energy around relationships and conversations and communication and, oh my God, sensitivity and now is the perfect time for you to branch out, to be yourself, to go and do the things that really light you up and make you feel great. So, and so just get out there and just do those things, okay? This is the perfect time to get out and just do your loves. All right. Tony says, it's interesting. I've been in a new, very supportive group. It's great for my ideas. They have extended help. Yay. Oh, fantastic. I'm so happy for you, Tony. That's brilliant. Rick says, no list right now. Single man in the desert. Just deliver my best. Yours and shine my light. That's mine. Aw. Of and heal anything. Yes, I agree. I just do the best tours I can and shine my light and heal anything. I love it, Rick. Thank you for correcting that. Gotta love predictive. It's a pain in the bum. So just to run over those cards just quickly. Hi, Sue. We've got sensitivity. We've got spiritual understanding. So watch for those signs and signals coming from your team this week. We've got sensitivity. This also talks about energies and emotions. So it's just another indication of being aware of the fact that we've got Venus in retrograde. It's stirring up some energies for you. And it's okay. It's all right. But it's just something to be aware of, to process your emotions through to completion before going bleh all over everybody else. Please don't verbally diarrhea on anybody else this week. That would be lovely. We've got brilliant idea and spread your wings. So we've got some really, really interesting, awesome energies this week. And I'm looking forward to seeing how you guys go with all of that. You may have deleted it, but because this is on StreamYard, I think it catches them all anyway. So on Facebook, it probably is deleted. It's just not deleted at my end. Good morning, Angelita. Oh, funny. I was thinking about you the other day. How interesting. Let's do our yummy card. And while we're doing our yummy card, we're going to ask for Edwina. Please, could you write your question in the chat so that then I can start doing bring up your card reading next. Oh, that's wonderful that you've got bracelets to sell. Once again, my friends, we've got frequency. So be aware of the vibes, not only that you're giving out, but the vibes that are around you so that you can be prepared to how to work with them. Interestingly, so you guys know we do the expanding out tool, right? And I love doing this tool. I actually do it before I come on. It's the way I ground myself. It's so I don't get swept away with all of your guys' emotions. And you're so funny. Okay. Cool. Okay, I'm just going to pop that over here. So, Amanda, thank you. That makes it a very, very big one. But yes, I'll do Edwina, and then I'll come back to Amanda. I think that was the way I was going to do it. But yes, Amanda, you're next. So let me just grab your cards, Edwina. Ooh, okay. And as you guys know, I'm what I would say is a kinesthetic healer, and that I feel. So kinesthetic being you learn by doing, right? So it's that kinesthetic, it's the movement. And I am a kinesthetic healer, and that I feel inside me often a lot of messages. And that gives me the guidance of what I require to do, like when I give you guys messages or when I'm doing an in-person healing or anything at all. I saw 31 on my dude flicky thingy today. But yay, under 40. Woohoo! Yes, Angelita, I am. Just at Lorene Hughes. You'll find me over there. 23 for Tony. Oh dear. 37. That's our heat wave. Yeah, we're all up for another round apparently. Sorry, Adelaideans. Let me see whether I'll get back to my story in a moment. Yep, that's where I am. Apparently we've got 36 tomorrow, 37 on Sunday, and 39 on Monday. Happy public holiday. And no rain. So yes, enjoy 23, Tony. So Edwina, as I am starting to tune in for you, I'm getting a very strange sensation in my mouth. It's like I initially got like it was almost like a hit to the side of my guts. And then I got a metallic taste in my mouth. Not sure what that means. But the interesting thing is I've been watching a bit of Tyler Henry lately. He's I've been binging a little bit on Tyler Henry. And one of the things that really struck me is I was watching his Netflix series Life After Death. And so if you don't know him, he is a psychic medium. And when he is doing his readings, he actually in one of the episodes was at a neurology center. So they did a full brain scan on him while he was doing a reading for someone. And it was like the scientists were absolutely blown away, because it was like he was accessing parts of his brain that you would normally access when you're asleep, but he was completely 100% lucid and awake. And there's also other elements where I get that he's actually kinesthetically feeling stuff too, because he uses the feelings in his body. He uses, sight, sound, sometimes taste, all the other five senses, smells, not so much smells, but very occasionally. And yes, he does sweat a lot when he reads. And the last episode, he's doing a live concert, live show, and he hasn't done one for a year and a half, and it's because he had a collapsed lung. And they refer a lot to the fact that when he does readings for people, it wipes him out. And I'm like, I wonder if part of it is he doesn't have great boundaries with the spirit world. I think he tries to, but his office hours are open a lot, especially when he knows he's going to be doing a reading the next day. But even then, sometimes he's got the spirits coming through 3 or 4 days beforehand. And I'm like, God, I worry for him a little bit. And I realize this is his own journey and he will figure it out when he's ready to. But they also made comment that he quite often will go to bed. Like, he'll come home after a reading and he'll go to bed and he'll stay in bed till the next day. And I'm just like, I don't feel like that after doing my readings with you guys. And obviously it's different in a way because I'm not doing straight up mediumship, but I am still checking in with your guys' teams. I'm still feeling the shit that comes through my body, like the stuff that I've got going at the moment while sitting here. Edwin is waiting for me. But I make sure that I'm really super expanded out, and I make sure that I'm not taking on your guys' energy. I have some beautiful tools that I use to make sure that I'm clean and clear once we've finished here. And I'm like, his readings are like 90 minutes long. And yet it's such a massive physical toll on him. He literally can't see himself becoming an old man because it takes such a physical toll on him. And I'm like, whew, what a burden. Yeah. 23. Yes, it is jeans and jumper weather. Yeah, Hamilton is built. I don't know if you've ever been to Hamilton, Rick. I think you've travelled to New Zealand a little bit. If I remember rightly, I might not be. But so But yeah, Hamilton's built on reclaimed swampland, so it's very humid. They can have over there like 75% humidity, and it's no rain. It's just moisture in the air, which I imagine, Rick, you'd get from the tropics as well. But it's like 23 and 75% humidity with no rain. It's delightful. Not. There's something else that wants to come out for you too. Right. Right. Cool. Amanda says it's 22. I just got our boots on. I would love it to be 22 right now. It's not. So where Rick is and where we are in South Australia, it's just very dry heat. And it is, so all the hot air that Rick gets, we get it down here at the minute too. That's why it's been so dry. We're getting a lot of northerlies. So yeah, it's fun. Super fun. South Australia. And it's even more so for me now that I live down off of the hills and I'm down on the plains, and it's very hot and very dry. Amanda is living on the road, caravanning around Australia, but right now she's in Victoria, not too far from the Great Ocean Road. Okay. Okie dokie, Edwina. So this is an interesting one because your team wishes to give you quite a bit of information, which I'm happy to do because you waited so patiently for your reading anyway. But the first card we've got is like the 3-card past, present, future one. I'm curious to know where this stomach / metallic taste in mouth comes from. And I look forward to seeing how this feels for you. So the first card that we've got is the past card, and it is Aqua, which is experience peace and calm. So this card has actually come out upside down. So your past has been quite turbulent, where you haven't necessarily experienced a hell of a lot of peace and calm. And this is sort of like an indication of, you've been through some rough spots, and it's okay that you've been through some rough spots, but that is in your past. So that's something for you to look at healing a little bit more and to do the healing. So the present moment is chocolate, which is about nourishing your body and soul. So in the healing journey of looking at the past, the trauma, the all of that sort of stuff, the troubled waters, as we would say. There's a lot of sweetness, and sometimes it can be a little bit bitter. Sometimes it can be a little bit hard to stomach. How funny. But currently you're doing a hell of a lot of healing, and it's okay to, again, it's about, going with the flow and ebbs and flows of what that healing is for you. Because the more you do that, the easier it will be. Moving into your future, you are working towards, quote unquote, purifying your soul. And that's the yellow card. Okay. So all of the work that you're doing right now is around helping you to rebalance. Maybe you've got some karma from other lifetimes that are sort of just working its way through. Perhaps it's been some DNA type karmic baggage, or not karmic baggage, but DNA energetic baggage that you've picked up from your family that you are working through this lifetime. And the more that you sort of work with that, make peace with it, and keep moving forward, the less baggage you're going to have by the time you choose to pass on. And this is truly about purifying your body. It's about releasing your energetic being from all of the stuck shit that has been there from not only your lifetimes, but also your families, like your ancestry stuff. And obviously within that, what you're doing is making it so that all that baggage doesn't then pass down to your children. So I know that this is a really hard journey for you at times. And there's moments of, I get this like thing of being just really fucking isolated at times. And it's like, I just see, it's like, that song, it's a very, very old song. And who was it by? It's like, and it says, one is the loneliest number that you'll ever be. It's that whole thing about you can be in a completely crowded room and still be the loneliest person in the world. And I get that's what it feels like for you sometimes. It's like you are just, there's all of this around you, and it's like just you're sitting there going, and it's like, what the fuck? So that's that part of the message. Okay. The next part that we've got is, and it's really linking in with this current moment. Thank you, Angelita. And Debbie, yes, chocolate does heal. I love it. So the rest of your reading is that you are currently experiencing a bit of a rebirth at the moment. And this can happen all sorts of ways. It can happen, like when I reflect back over my life, I know that I've had many rebirths. And some of them small, some of them really big, and all of them were disruptive up to a point. You've been a mom, you are a mom, you know what it means to birth, and you know what a big change that is in your world. So, and how much it disrupts your life, whether it be one child or 15 children, it doesn't matter. Every single birth, rebirth is a disruption. So even though we would love it if our healing journey and our shadow work and all of that means that we could just be lapping in a pool of chocolate all day, the reality is it's not. So this is kind of like acknowledging, yes, you are going through this at the moment, and it's okay, because you are still loved and you're still supported. You are taking care of your inner child, and you are still enjoying being all of you. Okay. We've got some self-reflection coming in, and also it says to take positive action, which means it's more than I love how they've got that sitting in the bath. But the bath is like, it's the dream space. It's that dream time where you can then look at the bath becoming a boat and pretending it's a boat. So what are your dreams? This is leading you more towards this, which is also helping you to get to this at the long term, right? So what are your dreams? What are you getting rid of now? What is your team? What is your body? What is your being? What is your journey asking you to let go of right now, so that you can actually bring your dreams and have the space to bring your dreams to fruition? Because whatever it is, it's a yes. Okay. You've got a big fat yes from your team. They're saying, oh my God. Okay. Okay. So we've got, you're going to have to be thinking about things from a different point of view. All right. You will not be able to solve your or heal your previous issues in the way that you did before. Okay? Your previous coping mechanisms are not going to work anymore. You have to allow yourself the space to breathe. You have to allow yourself the space to connect in with nature. You have to allow yourself the space to receive healing or connect with other like-minded individuals, or go do something cool and calming for yourself, so that you can process the stuff and release it from your body. Okay, so that you then have the space to have the yes for your dreams, and to let things flow freely for you. We've got an interesting card that's come up. And this is one that says, contemplate death and beyond. This is a bit of a jarring card to get, right? But when we look at it, and what I get from it is there's the death that has to happen of releasing the old systems that are no longer working. And old systems can mean people. It can mean relationships. It can mean you've been coming, because we've had a lot of relationship energy up lately, right? So this could also mean that you require to let go of maybe a way that you've been communicating with someone else. Perhaps there's been not as much kindness in your interactions with someone, or with someone's interactions with you, and you're kind of going, actually, no, that doesn't work for me anymore. You know, I'm not putting up with that BS. I am deserving of more than that, right? Your team has just given me a big fucking hell yes for that. So you are deserving of more than somebody treating you terribly. You are deserving of more from yourself, and from yourself treating yourself poorly. When we become people pleasers, we treat ourselves poorly because we disregard our own stuff, our own heart. Okay? I'll come back to that in a moment. We have unlock your heart. So all of this, the key to it is going to be around unlocking your heart. So you're going to have to take your training wheels off and gallop. And you're going to be scared. Because you know what? When we unlock our heart, it becomes, we are just become so freaking vulnerable. And it's scary to be that vulnerable. But it's also incredibly potent and powerful, because you no longer have anything holding you back and you have nothing left to lose. So it's like you become like so centered, and it's like unwaveringly so. And yes, that can be incredibly intimidating to other people. But those, if we remember, we don't take anything personally, right? If other people are intimidated by your centeredness, that's their issue. That's nothing to do with you. It's time for you to come back to here. It's time for you to come back to your heart and break that open and honor you. Because in honoring you, you are helping to educate your children to honor themselves so they don't end up in toxic relationships moving forward into their adult lives, or even in the schoolyard, you know, when they get to their teenage years and they're starting to make those choices of whether they, you know, do drugs or alcohol or sex or whatever. They start, if they can know what's in their heart and they have the confidence to choose that because they've seen you model that, like, fuck, what a gift. What an absolute gift. So your yummy card, my darling, is understanding. Don't necessarily love the word understanding, but what this is about creating acceptance and adoring and loving you. And the understanding part is about having compassion for your journey and how it's come through for you, because you are an absolute gift to this world, to this planet, and there is nothing more gorgeous than seeing one of my sisters fly and just loving on life. And sure, you still get wobbles from time to time, but it's a beautiful, glorious thing to watch. So your team is asking you to ride and to keep doing the work. You can't do it how your parents did it. This is your journey to do on your, not necessarily your own, but in your own way. And oh, that metallic taste is back. It's going to make you feel like you've broken your heart. It's like, because you're going to have to be really strong with certain personalities in your world to do this, including yourself. So please, make sure your support network around you is very strong too. You only need a couple of friends that you can talk to like bounce stuff off of. Okay? To keep you on the straight and narrow. And they don't even have to be in the same neighborhood, funnily enough. I was talking about this with one of my co-workers this week, and he was saying how he doesn't really have friends. He has people he talks to, like at work and when he goes and plays soccer and stuff, but he doesn't actually have friends. And I was like, yeah, but like, my friends, my two dearest friends, because I don't have best friends, one of them lives in Canada and the other one lives in New Zealand. So they don't have to be close to you to be your most dearest friends. Right. Before I jump over to Amanda's reading, I'm seeing questions or conversation about baths. Love having a bath again. It's wonderful. Amanda said, I do miss the bath. However, the moments I'm getting from my journey is well worth missing the bath. Yes, but you get to have nature's bath if you wish. And given where you are at the moment, if you get a chance, there is actually some hot pools up on that east coast there. West coast, sorry. Not east, west. I've got east coast on the brain. Yeah, if you can, see if you can work that in to go into the pools. Might be a little bit too public-y for you, but check it out if you want to, and you let me know, because I have contemplated going down there, because it is in the Victorian side of the border. Nicole is from Lismore. Rick says he misses his weekly oil and salt bath for years. He had them for 3 years, but for 3 years he's had no bath. Oh, sucks. Thank you, Angelita, for donating. I'll do your reading after I have done Amanda's reading. Rick says, I think my old ways will be loving big, but I'm a born lover. Me too. I hope you're staying safe, Nicole, and that the cyclone goes around you, and doesn't come and hits the area that you're in or any of your friends or family. I hope it just putters out and stays out in the ocean. Tony misses the baths too. And yeah, Tony says, yes, one of my best friends lives in Hamilton in North Island, and the other best friend lives in the South Island of New Zealand, and they really help me with my situations. Yeah, exactly. Sometimes you just require somebody to bounce some stuff off, you know. Angelita, it's super windy here now. I hear my house rattling. Are you going out in what do you call it? Sympathy for the people on the East Coast dealing with Cyclone Alfred? Oh, yes. Yes. So, Devonte, hi. I get all Facebook and YouTube comments coming through my chat, and I don't particularly do well with people who are being a bit narcissistic. Not cool. So if you're going to be here, be nice, be pleasant, and I'd love to have you as part of the crew. But if you're going to be like, oi, what about me? That's not what Find You Fridays is about. We are here as a community. We are here to support and love each other. And it is important that we are all on the same page. Okay? I have paid readings that I am doing at the moment. If you stick around, you might get a little freebie of like a poetry reading. But yes, please be mindful. of who and what energy you're being right now. Okay? Wishing you all the best. Amanda. Oh, Rick, he's on YouTube. Don't worry about it. He, she, they are on YouTube. You can tell by my tone where I'm at with that and why I hadn't paid much attention to them. No, you won't, because it's on YouTube. So my YouTubey beautifuls like Angelita and Debbie, they'll be able to see it. So don't worry, your pretty little heads. Everything is fine. Because you all are awesome. See, when I'm in this space, my energy is very, very like. So when anybody pops up who's being a right little wanker, I feel that energy. And it isn't nice. And it is, I don't enjoy playing with those sorts of people. So Nicole says, my brothers are going to get hit from it. They are from Queensland. It's going to get there first, and we are too. Well, let's hope that we can move it around. So with all the prayers and things that we can have from our beautiful little community here, yeah, let's send that lovely, the beautiful unconditional love out to protect all the land of Queensland from the cyclone. In saying that, Mother Nature knows what she's doing. So it can be obviously very disruptive to us. And we, as humans, kind of go, oh, we don't want to have anything to disrupt our lives. Mother Nature sometimes knows that we actually require a little bit of disruption to get us moving. So I hope that whatever happens for you guys, whether it be plenty of water or wind, that whatever you choose, you're safe. And if you require to evacuate, then evacuate. Don't take any chances with your lives. Properties can be replaced. Possessions mostly can be replaced, but you and your life cannot. So I get it's very scary. My mum went through a house fire when I was in my 20s, and she lost a lot of stuff then too. So I get it. But yes. Rick says, you can reach divine masculinity, but you can cop a blow that knocks you to your knees, but stand strong, heal, and rise. Correct. I love it. And he goes, YouTube is not like Facebook. Still trying to discover this platform. Love it. Okay, Amanda, I'm getting a lot of ear stuff today for you. Are you listening to your body? And your lines of your lines of communication with your partner, it's like there's just some stickiness there, because it's like joy and sadness are going off, and then my ears are feeling like almost like sticky blocked. Not blocked, but it's just like there's almost like how do I describe this? It's like a bit of a spikiness in my ears that's making them kind of sticky. And I'm just wondering, and the more I spoke about your partner, it was like the stronger that became. So it's like I get the sense that there might be some moments there where you guys can work on your, maybe for you, working on your willingness to hear beyond what he's actually saying. You're a very aware person. You're a very intuitive person. So if you've got someone in your world who is, you're not, like, you guys are doing something incredibly intense, right? You're living, breathing, being together 24/7. And in the majority of the time, I'm sure it's great. But I'm also getting a sense that there's just moments where you just sort of like, kind of like, how do I put this? What I'm hearing and seeing is, it's like a mum saying to her preschoolers, just shut the fuck up. Does that make sense at all? It's just, I want to just quieten my ears a little. Just have some quiet. That's what it feels like. So oh boy. Okay, cool. Cool. Okay. Yeah, it does. It feels like it's just like a mum going, just want to go and hide in the cupboard sometimes and just pretend like I'm not here. Might be a good time or a good moment this week, if you get a chance to, just go off and do separate things for a little bit. That might be a good thing to do for you, so you don't rip his head off. Anyway, cool. Okay. So I'm also getting a past, present, future card reading for you, and a couple of other cards as well. So in the past, you have been the high priestess of your world. You've been the big player of your world. You've been the person holding the judgment. You've been the person holding the rules and all of that sort of stuff. You've been a very powerful, potent person within your life. And that's good. That's good, because it got you to where you are today. Okay? And this is just an acknowledgement of how strong you have had to be to get you to where you are now. Like, that's a very commanding role that you have had in your life. And it's full on being the high priestess. Like, you're so aware of everything, the sun and the moon and all the spirituality and the raising of the kids and the you've done a lot to get you to the powerful point that you are now. Okay. The interesting thing is we have the 5, 6, 7, 8 of cups here. So this is your present. And what I'm seeing with this one is that right now, you probably feel like I get a sense like it's kind of like treading water sometimes when it comes to the emotional stability within what's happening for you. And at times you feel like, oh, I just need to walk away. I just leave all that behind. But what this is really showing me is that you've built up a really good foundation whereby everything is actually in balance. And if you allow yourself, because you also see the sun and the moon up here, it's kind of like the sun is eclipsing the moon a little bit, but they're both shining brightly. And to me, that actually shows that you both have a chance to shine no matter what. But it takes you turning around to acknowledge just how fucking strong and what a beautiful foundation you both have created together to be able to do what you're doing. And a little bit more gratitude for you both is what's required here. And that's why it's the sun and the moon. That's why we're seeing that really, really clearly. It's the sun and the moon together. They're not separate, they're together, but they're both being seen. Okay? So don't get overwhelmed with the emotional stuff. It's like, and that's why it's like my ears were like going, right? Because it's like, that's you trying to walk away. It's okay to have a bit of space, right? It's okay to have a bit of space. But at the end of the day, the foundation is strong. And it's okay for you to say what you require. If you require a little bit of like, do you know what, hun, today I think I'd really like to go off and do something by myself. That would be really amazing today. And I'd love you to go and do something by yourself. And then we can come back together at the end of the day and share our stories. How cool would that be? All right. And like, obviously, make sure you got your phones on you. Make sure that everything's safe and da-da-da-da-da. But sometimes we just require a little bit of alone time, especially when you've been this character for so long, where you haven't really had to be answerable to anybody else or take anybody else into consideration. When you go from that to this lovely sun and moon situation, yeah. We've got to be honouring of that time, that journey too. Future, we have the King of Swords, which of course is the mastery of the intellect. It's your air sign. And I also get the sense of like that strong, stable, just really in tune. And this feels very, in regards to what you're asking about, very positive as far as the future. It's not like he's going to be taking over in any way. It's more like he's looking to you, straight at you as an equal. And if you have a look, the High Priestess and the King of Swords are both looking very much forward. So if we go like this, you're looking at each other on equal terms. So don't feel less than. because you've been bloody strong and potent and powerful and got your shit together and all of that as well. You're not less than the King of Swords. It's just your requirements is maybe a little bit different. But I get that you guys understand that too. So just remember. Along with that, in regards to this middle one, we asked for a little bit more clarity around that one. And it says to learn to nurture yourself, become the love you deserve. Okay, so this is very much about just do the things when you feel that like oof moments. Nurture you, do the things that kind of make you go and make you relax and give you the space that you require to then come back and be loving and gorgeous with your King of Swords. Okay, and the other card that we've got is to make your life more interesting. Explore the unexpected. So again, like I said, this is very much about going off and having some little adventures by yourself. If you get a chance to catch up with maybe a girlfriend on your travels that you haven't seen for a really long time, and you get that your partner's just going to be like, yeah. Oh, Angela later. Wow, I'm hungry. Time to nourish me. Don't go too far because your reading is coming up next, okay? Oh, Melinda says she can hear my beautiful wind chimes singing away in the background. How lovely is that? How did I get so lucky? So, yeah. Now, in answer to the rest of your question, I'm realizing that the first emotion I think I feel isn't really the true emotion deep down. So sitting with them is important to me. 100%. And that's where journaling is also really useful, especially in situations where you're at. You know, sometimes it can be really helpful to do something called what was it called? Intuitive journaling, where you just sit there with a piece of paper and you just start writing. Whatever comes to your head, you just start writing it down. And I find it to be really useful because you don't have to be good at drawing. You don't have to be good at words. You don't have to be good at anything. You can just scribble. You can do lines. You can draw little pictures if you want to, if that's what comes to your head. And the brilliant thing is that it really helps you to process whatever is going on in your head without having to necessarily discuss it with anybody else. And it is very, very useful tool. So if you want to try that one, go for it. Dream. Got all the old songs coming out today, haven't I? So yeah, have some fun. Enjoy your dreams. You are living the dream. You are literally living the dream. So enjoy it, okay? And have fun. Remember your foundation and how grateful you can be for that. Thank you, Amanda. I'm so, so, so grateful for your very kind donation. And of course, Edwina, I am super grateful for your kind donation too. Thank you, ladies, for waiting until I was able to come back to you. And I'm so glad that we've started March and we're like, no debt. No debt from the last month. So, yes. Not that I consider you ladies to be dead. But yes, I wish to be honouring of your kind donations. Find You Fridays is grateful. I'm grateful. The podcast is grateful. The business is grateful. How did I get so lucky? Okay, Miss Angelita, would you like to put your question in, please? Into the chat. Oh, I rainbow heart you too, Rick. That's lovely. Who would like to come and play with Angelita? Yeah, it was one of the tools that I picked up during my diploma of holistic counselling, and I found it to be very useful. And funnily enough, I kind of did it when I was going through my recovery of my first marriage ending. I didn't realize that that's what I was doing at the time, though. But that was more of a just getting all the words out, because I knew that these words that were rolling around my head, because I was in situational depression at the time, because my life had completely imploded. And all these words just kept rolling around and around and around my head, and it didn't matter if I spoke them out because they just kept coming. And so I knew if I just wrote this stuff out somewhere, I didn't really care where, it would help to ease it out of my brain, and it absolutely did. So when I came across it again many years later, gosh, not quite 20 years, but near enough. And then I realized what I had done intuitively all those years ago. It was like, huh, how cool is that? Our brains are so awesome. Oh, hi, Sonia. How are you, beautiful? Oh, Tony, I must tell you a funny story. So, you know how I came back to New Zealand for all of 4 days, and I got to hang out with many beautiful people such as yourself, and so grateful for that time, by the way. But one of the funny things that happened is that even though I was there for such a short time, my accent was slightly refreshed, which was fantastic. Loved it. But now the Australian people don't know what it is when I ask for one of these. Oh dear. And so it's like, they're like, what are you asking me for a pin for? And I'm like, no, a pen, a biro, a writing tool. Have you got one of those? So yes, funny. I can feel you're tired, Tony. Oh, Angelita. Deja vu. Yes. The Aussies. 'They don't understand. 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 ' They are funny wee creatures. Wow, you've got some really interesting cards that have come out that I've never seen before. So I'm looking forward to seeing what the book says about them, because this is the Shaman's Dream Oracle. And I do get there's some very interesting stuff here. See how I go without it for starters though. So if we look at this, so we've got a past, present, future, and then a little bit more clarity for present. And what we've got in your past is we've got overflow, and it is overwhelm and plenty. But the word that's really sticking out for me is like that overwhelm of there's just been so much going on in your life. And it's almost been with all of the things that you've done, being a parent and having all of the, oh God, it's giving me jaw ache. Like it's right up in here. And there's been so much that it's almost like the waters have been smothering you. There's just been so much on you. It's kind of like you've been this, like with work and career and spirituality and parenthood and family, and there's just been a lot. And there's been a lot of times where you've just gone, just drown me now. So that's your past. Okay. Sorry, I didn't mean to laugh at you, Angelita. There was a comment here about decks. All right. We've got the Feast of Plenty, choices and their consequences. So what I'm seeing, yeah, exactly. Like you said, it's more like make it stop. Yeah, and the vision that I was actually getting with this one, which felt a little bit like traumatic. It was like, imagine being underneath the waterfall part, and it's like, it's almost like you can't breathe, because it just keeps coming and coming and coming and coming and coming, and you can't get out of the water flow because it's the waterfall flow, because it's like it's almost like you're stuck on the pillar for a long time, and or stuck on the rocks or something. It's like you're in the hole, and it's just like this water keeps flowing all over you, and it's like trying to breathe in between the bubbles, in between the little breaks where there's less rain or whatever. And it's just like, that's what it felt like. It felt like my shoulders were really high. It felt like everything's really tense, and it's like, oh my God. That's the feeling I was getting from that one. We've got Feast of Plenty, which is about choices and consequences. So currently what's happening is I get the sense that there's you're starting to make some really interesting boundaries. And I say interesting because that they're interesting for the people around you, in that you haven't necessarily created these kinds of boundaries before, and you're starting to get a little bit more firm with who stays and who goes, who gets to see your energy, who doesn't. It's like you're finally seeing yourself as the precious commodity that you are and the precious gift. And also knowing how it's possible to cut off the aspects that are no longer serving you. And it's like I feel very much a more renewed sense of stability. Like you are out of that water now. You're out of that waterfall. You're out of that constant like battering of the water and emotions and all of that sort of stuff. And you're now starting to see a bit of the light at the end of the tunnel. And the interesting thing about this is it's actually like a ball, like a sphere on top of a hill. It's cradled actually, but it's for in relation to what we're talking about. It's like you're no longer taking responsibility for choices that other people make, and that's sort of throwing a little bit of like a quote unquote spanner in the works for them, because they're like, oh shit, we're used to getting away with everything and with Angelita, and now that we can't. And it's kind of like, oh, so this is a good thing. This is a very good thing for you. It had to happen because it's not your job to take responsibility for everybody else's shit. Okay? What's in the future? Before I go to that, I'm actually going to go to these other two, which are kind of like the slightly more clarity of this other one. She says, I transmit energy into a ball and it has been helping a lot. Cool. So I'm glad we've got the confirmation with this ball shape too. First card that we've got is more clarity for that one, is a tidy house, clarity and organization. So when we have a tidy home as it's talking, or house as it's talking about here, is not only within our physical environment, it's talking also about the tidy home up here and with the relationships that we've got with other people. If it is all cluttered in any way, shape or form, it's going to throw again a big spanner in the works. So it's important to keep things clear, concise, and with an ease of flow, attracting the conversation, the heartfelt conversations with honey. And it's not that you can't be firm. It's not that you can't be like, this is what I require. It's more about being firm with what you're asking for. Okay. Saying yes, humbly saying yes. So clean up, make sure everything's clean and clear with all the aspects of you, the whole aspect, the holistic side of you, right? So be clean and clear in here, be clean and clear in here, be clean and clear in your environment, be clean and clear in your relationships, in the way that you're interacting with each other. You're still going to be doing shadow work, my love. With whenever we work with other people, whenever we are interacting with other people, there's always going to be some aspects of others, like our shadow selves, that are going to come up, some old stuff from parental relationships, some societal shit that'll come up, some stuff from other lifetimes that'll come up for you. And what we've got here is the will of the wisp, treasures hidden in the shadows. And that's exactly right. There is beautiful gifts hidden within that shadow work that helps you to be more centered and more loving and more glorious within yourself. All of that is leading towards this, which is the sky dancers. And the sky dancers are asking you to surrender. Surrender to your journey. And I love this. Oh my God, yes, correct. I feel it every day. Yeah. So the sky dancers is asking you to surrender. Be in the light. Be the shining light. Know that you are moving forward and you're going to be floating up and enjoying the magic, and you're already like working towards this. And remember that analogy of going from the caterpillar to the chrysalis to the butterfly. Like, the sense that I'm getting at the moment is like you've got half your wings. You're in that sort of like you're actively turned yourself to mush, and now you're reforming yourself again. And I get the sense that could be also to do with perimenopause, so welcome. Where hormone levels and things really do shift the brain. So this beautiful sky dancer here is she's looking fucking fabulous. I hope you can see her, but look at her little face. Like, oh my God, she's just like gloriously going, I've done it. Yes. Admire me now. All right. So she said, when I feel like I need control, I say it's okay, you are guided. So there is a couple of books. You haven't been here for a little bit. So there's a couple of books that I've read just recently. One of them is The Four Agreements. That's why I'm referring to it so often at the moment, because I literally have it pinned to my board here. And the other one was The Let Them Theory by Mel Robbins. Those two books in January is when I read them, really shifted something dynamically within me. And I would love to say I'm in full menopause, Tony, but I'm not. I'm asking my body, is this the last one? Is this the last one? Yes, please. Yes, please. Oh. But yeah, those two books, Let Them Theory by Mel Robbins, and yes, they are audio books, both of them. And The Four Agreements by Miguel something or other. The Four Agreements is only like 2.5 hours long, and it's brilliant. So yeah. Right, one last one, and then we'll do Tony's question is next. Okay, Tony, so get yourself ready. Bring on the day when I'm done and dusted. I've been in perimenopause for more than 6 years now. I'm done. I'm ready. I just love it. We just talk about this shit even if we've got beautiful Rick in the house. Oh dear. You're welcome, Rick. Sonia, if you're still floating around, yes, I'm loving being in my new home. It is tidy. It is spacious. Things are in their place. I come home and I go, even if I've had like a really full-on day where I've had to be, that space of real calmness and soothing for my clients, like my cleaning clients and stuff, I still come home, and even if I've got loads to do, it's like I come home and I just go, I'm home. And it makes me feel so wonderful, and I really enjoy it. Angelita, it's saying to soften. but I actually get this is in relation to you. So don't be so much of a hard ass with yourself. Okay? This is about remembering that you are still on a journey too. And it's okay if you change your mind. It's okay if you, if there are things that you held in really super high priority in your world and you've sort of suddenly gone, actually, they don't matter so much to me anymore. And yet you would have crucified other people for it in the past. And now you're going, actually, maybe not so important. It's okay. Be an allowance of that. And even if other people go, yeah, but you said, it's like, yeah, I did. And you know what I've realized? I've realized that that's not as important to me now as being healthy and happy and balanced and working on my feminine, masculine, energetic flows and polarity, and holding that point of view I realized was doing more harm than good. So I'm letting it go. And it's okay. All right? See you, Angelita. She just said she's so hard on herself, it's ridiculous, and she sees it and feels it. So you've got to soften. That's why that card came up for you. Okay. Thank you so, so much for your kind donation. I'm incredibly grateful for you. And thank you for tuning in from the good old US of A. I love it. And I just sending you lots of love, my dear. There's still like, you've done so much work already. And I just wish for you to really acknowledge that the beauty that you're already coming into. Okay. It will get easier, I promise. Okay. Talking about hot flushes. I just get a little bit of nighttime sweats. But because I drink my special drink, I don't tend to get them as bad as what I used to. I really knew when shit had kicked in because I was waking up in the middle of the night around 3 a.m. with just like runnels of sweat going down my legs, and it was disgusting. I was like, because I'm not a sweating person, and I might get a slight sheen on me, but I'm generally not a very sweaty person. So I was getting like this bronze. Oh. So that was really what sort of made me go, oh, wow, we're right in the throes of it now, aren't we? Yay. Melinda is done and dusted. She's one lucky lady. You reckon men go through it too? Poor guy, Rick? You reckon? Susie Quattro Singh, 48 Crash was about the male menopause. I'll have to look that up. I mean, there is the thing about guys going through that whole midlife crisis thing. But I don't know if that would be the equivalent of a female menopause, because it's like I was describing it to my co-worker the other day, and I was like, because he's about to get married next year, and I said to him, look, the thing with the perimenopause thing is that it's kind of like, how we were as teenagers. And there was those moments when I'm sure you guys were looking at us girls going, when we're just cracking the shits and we are flying off the handle, or we are incredibly like sexual or whatever it was, because our hormones are going fucking nuts. It's kind of like that, but in reverse, but also with a lot of heat, because we're getting hot flushes and stuff like that as well. So, and the thing is, for the women, it's like, it really truly is. It's like we're going through it's because when we're teenagers, it's all those hormones turning on. And as in perimenopause, it's the hormones turning back off again, but with all the heat attached to that. And I just don't think we really give ourselves enough allowance. Like as teenagers, it's just like, oh, righty-ho, she's a teenager. She's lost her shit again. Oh, well, she's gone stomping off to her bedroom. Like whatever. Yeah. Angelina, I just figured out how to give hearts. So exciting. I love that too. Oh dear. I've so much enjoyed your ladies' company. I've enjoyed your company too, Rick. I always enjoy it when you're here. We love you. Judy said, so glad I didn't get the night sweats. I'm fortunate that most of the time I don't get the hot flushes apart from the night sweats. I do get pink during the day when I'm working, but I've always gotten quite red and flushed when I've been physically moving, so it's not really any different for me. So yeah. Oh, Rick says, I love your openness. I promote openness and vulnerability for men and women. Me too. I find that the more that we are vulnerable and open ourselves, it does promote that in other people, which is really helpful. Tony says, yeah, it's like buying a snazzy car, a boat. I couldn't afford one. Rick says, it was like depression and awakening, weird sexual energy, sweats, etc. Interesting. Oh, Judy, never had a midlife crisis, never had the luxury. And Tony says, yeah, we love you, Rick. Earl Grey tea. Oh, so good. It's really, really good Earl Grey tea. Not just a Twinings Earl Grey tea. It's like it's got, you know how it's got that bergamot and the citrusy flavors. Oh, so good. Well, you can keep the sweats, Tony. You're welcome to them. I don't require them. I'm quite happy just managing my own night sweats. I did go through last year, around about March. It's probably around about a year ago. I did go through a period of time where my smell changed, and for a few weeks, and that wasn't so nice. And I felt like I had to shower morning, like I felt like I should probably shower like 3 times a day, and which just isn't feasible, obviously. But I was like dousing myself in deodorants and antiperspirants and all sorts of things, and as like once I left the house, perfume and stuff like that to just try and mitigate the smells. But that wasn't very pleasant. So yeah. Yes, my love, I'm coming back. Rick says, see, I hardly know you ladies, but I feel open to share. That's the easy thing about being in this little group. Okay, who would like to come and play with Tony? Rick, that's disgusting. I'm sure there's some critters out there that would help you with that. Judy says, you're like a little soul brother. Licking the sweat off your back. Oh dear. I've got a soul deep, Rick says, I've got a soul deep family, so it's nice to spread my wings. Yeah, me too. I was actually invited tomorrow to go out to a gathering of and I'm just like, I'm still, I know. Because you guys are so awesome, but I also realize I require to see some people in person. But then I do a lot of peopling during the week anyway, so I'm like, yeah, maybe not. I'll see what my body wishes to do after I've been on the show. You've been researching your name. It's an interesting thing to do, Rick. Why do you wish to research your name? What does that hold for you? I've been puzzling. I've been doing puzzles. Yes, Judy. I would like to know too. Judy asks, what did you come up with? Tony says, I do have a cat that will do that for you, Rick. That's a good point. Cats and dogs love to lick sweat. And it doesn't matter where it is on your body. They love to lick your feet between your toes. Yeah. So I'm sure that they would, if you had a cat or a dog floating around, they would love to lick your back. Funny, Tony. I was actually thinking feline energy, but I didn't kind of know how to express that. So first, second, and last name meaning. So the powerful ruler / brave leader, small, humble servant of God, and I was born on first ever Earth Day. Aww. Yeah. Yeah. No, Tony, literally, I have been around animals that do the whole toes thing. Yeah. And you're like, ugh! All of a sudden you're like, oh my God, what's happening with my feet? 32. All right, Tony. So the first card, which is so we've got the same setup as what we've had most of the night tonight. We've got the past, present, future with a couple of clarity cards as well. All right. So we've got the past card is the Raven Spirit, which is truth. And these are from the Sacred Forest Oracles. So this is why I've got the book out, because I've not used these cards very much, as you guys know. So that I do love these cards because they have like a little story. And what I get with this card, I'll read the little story and then I'll tell you what I get. As you look up, you see a raven peering at you from a branch. It feels like he's gazing straight into your soul. He swoops down and lands on your hand. Amazingly, he begins to talk. telling you the deeper truths of your life. He reminds you to focus on what is important and admonishes you to make choices in life that honor your truth. So the interesting thing is, this is your past card. And it actually came out upside down. So that tells me that in the past, you haven't always honored your truth. You haven't always honored and spoken up when you really required to. You haven't always allowed yourself the space to speak the truth. And if you did, you very quickly were sort of put back in your place by speaking your truth. And I put that in inverted commas, because there's been potentially people around you that have been like a little bit bullyish with you. So you've had to be, you've sort of had to really toughen up a lot, and to get to a point where you kind of feel like you have to battle your way through. And that's the sense that I get with this card for your past. So it's like you've had like quite the journey with and a lot of throat stuff, a lot of sore throats, a lot of tonsillitis, a lot of coughs and colds and things like that. And then it's like it possibly went down into your chest, which created chest issues and lung issues, breathing issues. And that's really truly a reflection of not being able to speak your truth, and feeling like you can't do that, but also not giving yourself permission to speak the truth because your environment around you was not encouraging of you speaking your truth. And so for self-preservation reasons, you didn't. But the long-term effect of that was that you then started bullying yourself to not speak your truth and not be honoring of you. So, yay. Let's have a look at the next card, which is more the present. We have the ancient oak, which is strength. Okay. Walking softly into the forest, you can hear the deep, sonorous voice of the oak. When the great oak spirit speaks, the forest becomes still and listens. Although you may not be consciously aware of them, powerful and profound messages seep into your soul and can be felt in the core of your being. The spirit of the oak tree says, "You are wise and strong beyond measure. Stand firm and rooted where you are. Speak your truth. You are intuitively guided in the right direction." Okay? So this is where you're at the moment. This is your present. Okay, and that's reminding you to stand really strong, and you can be flexible with the wind. You can move around and shed. As you know, the oak tree is a deciduous tree, so it literally lets go of everything that it doesn't require to preserve itself through the winter time. So do that. But it also drops lots of beautiful seeds of awareness, right? In the form of acorns. So you being this beautiful, mature tree that it is now, this is where you're at now, right? You get the privilege of sharing your wisdom and the wisdom of your healing journey with others. You get to actually plop your little seeds of awareness around now. Whether you see them grow or not is a whole nother matter, and it doesn't really matter. But you get the chance to do that. So let us have a look at the other things that are sort of a little bit more clarity for what's happening right now. Okay. The next card that we've got for you is the Wild Rose Fairy, which is love. The scent of the wild rose is healing. The perfumed fragrance swirls around you and flows directly into your heart. With each inhalation, your heart opens wider and deeper. The soft pink colour of the petals contrasts with the dark, shiny leaves, fluttering along the blossoms in a kaleidoscope of butterflies. Magic is in the air. The spirit of the wild rose says you are more cherished than you can possibly know. Open your heart to receive. Love is on its way. You are an eternal vessel for love to flow through. You are enough, just as you are. Okay, so this is a big, beautiful reminder that your heart is way bigger than you think. And it's also something to be cherished and loved and nourished. And the more you speak your truth, the easier it will be for you to be loving towards yourself, towards others, and because you'll be processing some of that deep, dark stuff of not having spoken your truth. The trauma is it's overused in a lot of ways, but still relevant. The trauma of having to deal with bullies and the impact on our body, the imprinting, is something that you have to deal with. And the more that you forgive yourself, the more that you love yourself unconditionally and release yourself from those impacts, the implants, the trauma, the easier it's going to be for you to then drop your wisdom cherries or wisdom seeds. And the easier it's going to be for you to love you and to heal. Okay? Keep going, Tony. Your work is not finished. Oak trees of that size are very big. The next card that we've got for present moment, and just a little bit more clarity around that one, is 43, which is the thicket of thorns, which is uncertainty. Okay. You have found yourself in a thick briar patch. When you try to go forward, the branches entangle you. When you attempt to go back, thorns prevent your movement. No matter what direction you try, there are blockages. To move causes pain from the long, sharp thorns. Stop struggling. Stop moving. Breathe and relax. And magically, the thicket opens to reveal a sparkling path out. The spirit of the thicket of thorns says, timing is everything. Let go of the struggle. You'll gain great rewards. So, for example, the let them theory is really, really useful here. This is like, I can't remember if you've gotten that Audible book yet, but it's not about becoming a doormat. It's about saying thank you for the information. It's about if they are showing you, like, for example, I've worked in teams before where there's what I would call the gossip hags. And they get a lot of enjoyment about gossiping about other members of the team. And rather than trying to fight with that or going along with it, I just let them gossip. Unless it's something really like particularly nasty or untrue, and it's like, hey guys, like, that's not cool. I will redirect from time to time, and have done so. But at the end of the day, you just let them. Let them gossip. Because at the end of the day, the people that they're actually hurting is themselves. There's nothing to do with me. And sometimes when we fight against something too hard, what happens is it actually just makes that energy, that yucky energy, grow. Okay? So relax. Breathe. And know which, like it, as you can see with that card, it was still talking about moving forward. But it's like, instead of having the viewpoint of everybody's out to get me and everybody's after me and everybody's, against me, it's like, what magical thing can I do today to help actualize what I really wish to have? You said that you've started up with a new group. Awesome. That's a beautiful manifestation. Well done. Keep going. And keep mindful of your words. That's the first principle of the 4 agreements. Be impeccable with your word. Be aware of what you're saying about people around you. Okay? Melinda says, yes, I totally agree. I've been listening to the book as well. It's about information. Let them show you the information. Don't be blindsided by pretending like you didn't see it. Rick says, I was bullied at school and after as well. I know it was because of my light within. Yeah, exactly. I mentioned about Tyler Henry before. He was bullied a lot at high school. That was part of why, like, he had a few different reasons why the kids bullied him. One was because of his gift. One was because he's gay. And so he ended up leaving school at 16 to go off to do a apprenticeship to be a hospice nurse, and then ended up doing a reading for the director of the hospice of the school or something. And then they were like, you know what? This isn't the industry for you. Go off, do your readings. Go and do that. You're going to be way more successful. So yes, which book? There's the Let Them Theory by Mel Robbins, or the 4 Agreements by Miguel Ruiz. Luckily, that's written right there. I can read it. Now, what are you moving towards? That's what we really would like to know, right? You've got all this other stuff that you're working through right now, but it's like, we like to have a goal. We like to know where we're going towards. And I think you'll like it. You're becoming a dragon. Oh, wow. That's interesting. But no, there's actually a lady down the bottom there. And she's got her dragon protector. So dragon power. You've fallen asleep on the forest floor. The night was cold as you snuggled into some leaves, yet you felt warm and comfortable as you slept. In the early morning, you stretch and open your eyes to find a dragon has lovingly wrapped itself around you in the night. He opens his large eyes and looks at you with kindness and compassion, and you know that all is well. The spirit of the dragon says, within you dwells the remarkable power to manifest your dreams, gain great riches, and activate ancient wisdom. Take back your power and express your strength with grace. So there's this beautiful point where you're moving towards a very powerful version of yourself. And with that comes great responsibility. Now, this powerful version of yourself, might not be what you think it is. But if you compare how you were when, I will say, when you were like 18 to how far you have come between that and now even, you will see you're already stepping way more into this dragon power than you ever considered. But you also notice that this lovely lady down here, as she's sleeping, she's allowing the power to be wrapped around her to keep her warm. She's receiving. And that's the other part for you, that you're working towards actually remembering how to receive and be comfortable with receiving from that level of power and potency. Okay? And that level of power and potency is yourself. You can imagine it's a dragon wrapping its wings around you if you like. But yes, that's what you're working towards. Okay? That's pretty special. That level of enlightenment, to be that consciously potent, and all that comes with the dragon energy. Wow. That's big, love. That's really big. Your yummy card is hope. You still have hope. Okay? Just remember, whatever you're going through, whatever it looks like, you still have hope. Because you're freaking amazing. So, don't forget that. Please remember. Be that big oak tree for us, because we require you. We require your magic out there. We require your strength. Thank you so much, Tony, for your very kind donation. We're very, very lucky to have you here with us and sharing your magic and your wisdom. So grateful for you. Okie dokie, my dears. I think it might be time for me to have another little cup of tea. Double check my messages just in case. All good. And we will now take that off. Back there. Beautiful. Now, there is one other thing that I wanted to share with you guys today, or wished to share. And it is actually the lyrics to Silent Lucidity. So this is kind of like not quite the poetry that we would normally do, but I would like to have you have a listen to this. So this is Silent Lucidity, was a song by Queensryche back in 1990. And I've loved this song forever. I don't know that I knew it in 1990, because that would have been when I was in primary school, but I reckon it was probably around 1993. I think I was when I started to get to know it. So it's been a long time. And it was floating around my head today. And I thought, I wonder what those lyrics are. Like, if I was to actually sit down and listen to them and read them. So I'm going to read them to you now, because I think you all will get it now on a much deeper level than what everyday Joe Blow would. So it goes, hush now, don't you cry. Wipe away the teardrop from your eye. You are lying safe in bed. It was all a bad dream spinning in your head. Your mind tricked you to feel the pain of someone close to you leaving the game of life. So here it is, another chance. Wide awake, you face the day your dream is over, or has it just begun? There is a place I like to hide, a doorway that I run through in the night. Relax, child, you were there, but only didn't realize, and you were scared. It's a place where you will learn to face your fears, retrace the years, and ride the whims of your mind. Commanding in another world, suddenly you hear and see this magic new dimension. I'll be watching over you. I'm going to help to see you through. I will protect you in the night. I am smiling next to you in silent lucidity. I can't do this. Visualize your dream. Record it in the present tense. Put it into a permanent form. If you persist in your efforts, you can achieve dream control. How's that then better? Dream control? Help me. If you open your mind for me, you won't rely on eyes to see. The walls you built within come tumbling down, and a new world will begin. Living twice at once, you learn you're safe from the pain in the dream domain, a soul set free to fly, a round-trip journey in your head, master of illusion. Can you realize your dreams alive? You can be the guide, but I will be watching over you. I'm going to help you to see it through. I will protect you in the night. I'm smiling next to you. So the thing that really got me with this song was there is a real deep comprehension of, as Rick says, a lot of songs are like that when you're ascending. Yes, exactly right. And this is one where I really see the comprehension of the songwriter, Chris DiMaggio, DiGiamo. Sorry, Chris. Of what it means to break out of the matrix, to really see how we have been living in a dream, just like what Miguel Ruiz says in the Four Agreements. He really comprehends and puts it into this beautiful song of saying, you know, the walls you built within come tumbling down and a new world will begin. Well, that's so often what happens when we finally let go of all of the trauma and shit that we have built walls around our heart, and we let all that come tumbling down, and a whole new world begins for us. And then this lines where it says, living twice at once you learn. Yes, because there's a moment there where you end up stepping in both worlds for a while, and you're learning from both. You're learning from your spiritual side, you're learning from your old side, the 3D world, if you like. You're learning from the 3D, you're still stepping into the 5D, and it's like it's a really interesting space to be in. But another part of the song that I loved was the chorus of, I'll be watching over you, I'm going to help to see you through, I will protect you in the night, and I'm smiling next to you in silent lucidity. So it's like our team is literally watching over us. They're helping us to see it through. They are helping to protect us in the night, and they're smiling next to us when we work with them and we allow them to help us. So, and there's so much more within this song, and I'm just like, wow, I'm really seeing it in such a really super deep level, and I'm like, whew. So I could probably carry on for like a whole nother hour doing a big, huge breakdown of this one song. But I'm not going to do that. I just highly remember when I said that card with the synchronicities or the signs. This is one of them for me today, of going, look at this and acknowledge there was this knowledge that was flowing through from the songwriters back in 1990, which is just like 10 years ago, right? Not 35. Seriously. It can't possibly be 35 years old. But that just goes to show you how far we have come and how this information was already coming through. Had this beautiful conversation with one of my workmates yesterday saying, I wonder sometimes if the movies that are out there, movies, TV series, all that sort of stuff, and books as well. I've pondered on this many a time, particularly with the books that I was reading for a while there around witchy stuff. Are they actually made up stories that are covering a truth? Truths that are embedded in these stories that are made so that we can hopefully comprehend more deeply the meaning, maybe give us a warning, maybe, give us a bit of a insight or something to something greater that's going on that we can't quite see. Rick, do you mind if I read that out? I know you've put it into the chat, but I'd like to be honoring of you. I'm happy to just read it in my head. And yes, I agree with the others. So I've just quickly read it in my head because I don't wish to read that out unless it's with your permission. It's different when I'm reading my own stuff or a song that's been published and that sort of thing. That's different. As a fellow creative poet, yes, I agree with the ladies that it is lovely. So thank you. So for those of you on YouTube, you came into my life like many lives before. Into my heart, you had that key to the door. You found me as I found you, a love that's eternally true. Twin soul, a mirror to me, twin soul, twin soul. Just let it be. You know me more than any other heart. Existence here brought us apart. Drowning here in our pool, the sea of love can be so cruel. But you got me and I've got you. Final pieces of the puzzle never looked so cool. That was beautiful, Rick. Very, very heartfelt. And to the lucky soul that receives that one, because there's definitely a muse in there. Yes. How beautiful. Many of my poems are mused from other people or instances in my life. So yes, I agree. Thank you for sharing, Rick. That's beautiful. And thank you for being so open and vulnerable with us to share that with us. I feel very honored that you felt comfortable enough to share that with us. So thank you. That's lovely. Absolutely lovely. How did we get so lucky, ladies? Me? All right. So I have been tuning in today on what our meditation, where it would like to go. And okay. Something that I was gifted, I'll put it that way, was this beautiful piece of rose quartz. I was gifted it several weeks ago now, and it has been with my selenite wand sitting on the windowsill, getting the moon and the sun energies for the last few weeks, and today it was calling out. So I'll be holding on to this while we do our meditation today. So I feel like it's been very much cleansed. It's got lovely energy, and I'd like to add some more energy to this through our session, through our meditation tonight. Before I do, Rick says, I like to put experiences mine or others into words all my life. I don't do it often, but I enjoy when it comes out. Me too. I don't try to force it. It's just when it bubbles forth, that's when it gets written down. I do have to, I have actually got one book that I write I have that to put my poems into. But for a little while there, it was tucked away and I couldn't get to it. So I've got these poems written all over the place in my phone, and it's in little journals and random bits of paper. So that's one of my tasks that I have to put on my to-do list, is to bring all those bits back in together. And now that I'm settled in my place, I can actually put them into my poetry book. They will eventually become a second poetry book. So what I would like to do is, using the energy, this beautiful energy of this rose quartz, knowing that the majority of us here now are here in Australia, I'd like for us to do sending a bit of love over, in our meditation, over towards the people and the country or the area of Queensland where Cyclone Albert is threatening, to give the people a little bit of calmness so that they can think with clarity, and so that when and if they require to act, they can do that being no night, Tony, thank you for being here, so that they can actually do that with a lot more ease. Because some people don't react well in emergency type situations and other people do. So I'd like to just encourage us all to be gifting towards the people of Queensland. So Melinda, no night, honey, I know you have to go to work, so thank you for being here. I appreciate you so much. So yeah, all right, so everybody close your eyes, take a big deep breath in, and breathing out. Breathing in, bringing Mother Earth energy all the way up through your body. Breathing out, letting Father Sky energy move all the way down. Breathing in, bringing Mother Earth and the unconditional love all the way up. Breathing out, bringing Father Sky and the gratitude for everything and everyone all the way down. Becoming aware of your body, becoming aware of your blood and all your internal organs, becoming aware of all your cells and then all your molecules. Become aware of the space between the molecules all the way down to the atomic level, even all the way down to the nuclei, and you see the space in there. And you can see that you are indeed 99.999% space. And that you are a living, breathing, electrical storm of awesomeness. And now expanding out your awareness in a big, beautiful bubble all around you, expanding out your awareness out beyond the lifetimes, dimensions, realities, and non-realities. Yes, we've bounced out really fast because apparently you guys are awesome today. We've gone out beyond the planet. We've gone out beyond the solar system, the galaxies, and the universes. Just give yourself a moment and a couple of breaths. A nice big deep breath in and out. And now tapping in with your body once again, grab your sense of allowance and begin to expand that out. Expanding out your sense of allowance. Out beyond your body, remembering that expanding out your sense of allowance takes you from being that tight, contracted little pebble at the bottom of the raging river of everybody else's thoughts, feelings, and emotions, where you feel at the effect of everybody else's stuff, maybe feel like the victim, and it transforms you into being a big, fluffy white cloud floating over that river, where you see that raging river of everybody else's thoughts, feelings, and emotions for exactly what it is. It's just energy. Just energy. And you get the choice as to whether you react to that or not. You can choose to respond or not. Everything is a choice. Or you can just float on by, which is a choice too, and just let that raging river be. So expanding out your allowance, greater than the planet, greater than the solar system, greater than the galaxies, greater than the universes, and greater than your allowance. Sorry, your awareness. Make your allowance greater than your awareness. Beautiful. Now I'd like you all to imagine that you have a beautiful ball of rose quartz in your hands. Cupping it in your hands, imagine the weight of it. Feel the smoothness of the stone, the polished stone. Feel the warmth. Receive that loving energy, but also the potency of that loving energy. Allow it to flow up your arms, all the way through to your heart space. Allow that beautiful rose quartz energy to flow all the way down through your body, through your belly, through your pelvis, all your reproductive organs, all the way down your legs, through your knees, your shins and your calves, through your ankles, your feet and your toes, and then down into Mother Earth. And then also perceive the energy moving up through your throat and your neck, over your shoulders and your back. Perceive it moving through your face, through your brain, and your subconscious and your conscious mind, and coming out of your crown. And as this beautiful energy flows out of your crown, it curls around, and the energy that's flowing out of your feet moves down into the earth and then curls back around up to meet the energy that is flowing out of your head. Creating a beautiful circular vortex around your body, all the way around, not just side to side or front to back, but all the way around. This energy is flowing around and around and around. The top coming down, and from the down coming top. You feel that feminine and the masculine polarities just working so beautiful in harmony together within your body. Now this beautiful bundle of unconditional love energy flowing in and around and through your body. I'd like you now to send out some of that energy out towards the people of Queensland, towards the area of Queensland where the cyclone is threatening, indicating that it may come ashore. Imagine that beautiful unconditional love, that rose quartz energy traveling along the earth, underneath the earth, all the way out to the water, to the ocean, and spreading out. And you might start to feel some tingles, or you might yawn a bit as you perceive other people who are listening to this podcast and this meditation right now, joining in their magic with you. You'll be able to perceive the different types of unconditional love energy which are coming through right now. And as you meet together, you'll feeling like, thank you, old friend. I appreciate you, and I'm grateful for your presence too. And because time actually is an illusion, you'll also perceive all the people who are going to watch this in the future and do this meditation with us in the future. You'll see their energy coming through now too. And now all together, with this energy going out into the ocean as well by a couple of kilometers, maybe even getting 5 kilometers out into the ocean, spreading along the ocean floor and as far up and down the land as it requires to go. Now imagine flowing that energy up. Imagine it going up every single blade of grass, every single tree, every single person, every building and structure, even the cars. Imagine that unconditional love just coming up through absolutely everything. Watch as their hormone levels change from being in cortisol overload to being back with their happy hormones, to be able to think with clarity rather than just being in survival mode. Or freeze or form. Watch the people as they begin to feel more strength and calmness, so they can handle whatever comes their way. The buildings themselves feel more stable, more energized with your magic. And as we now move towards the ocean with our unconditional love, you see the ocean starting to calm, the waves listening. Your unconditional love is assisting the winds to blow less. And the rain to be absorbed up into the clouds or just drop harmlessly into the ocean. And as we acknowledge Mother Earth for expressing herself, for expressing the fact that she felt the need to do a cyclone, say thank you for the example, and thank you for the opportunity for us to learn how to wrap up that level of anger, sadness, of grief with love. To know that sometimes we have to be cyclonic within ourselves to get change. To have that change move so drastically within ourselves sometimes requires us to also be that cyclonic level of energy. But it's also possible to do it in a much calmer way. We thank Cyclone Alfred for bringing families together to support each other once more or once again. We thank you for your lessons. And we thank you also for choosing to complete your lesson out in the ocean. Take a big deep breath in. Breathing out, and as you breathe out, you feel the winds of the cyclone dying away. You see the sun coming up on a brand new day, and the waters are calm, and the sky is clear. Now we can leave our beautiful love energy out there to contribute You do not need to pull back. But you yourself, your being, I'd like you to now focus back on your body, please. Focus on your rose quartz crystal in your hands. We give gratitude to the rose quartz crystal. We say thank you for the work that you've done today, helping to heal and soothe and calm the area of Queensland and us. Now imagine placing that rose quartz crystal in front of you and releasing it up into the sky, and we say thank you, thank you, thank you for your gift. Now imagine that you're standing underneath the crystalline waterfall where you can breathe with total clarity. Imagine that water is just flowing gently over you, just washing away any other little fragments of energies that are worthy and willing to leave you today. Now stepping up onto the big warm river rock, you feel the warmth of Mother Earth underneath your feet. Taking a big deep breath in, bringing Mother Earth energy all the way back up through your body. Breathing out, bringing Father Sky and the gratitude for everything and everyone all the way down. Mother Earth and the unconditional love all the way up. Father Sky and the gratitude for everything and everyone all the way down. Just one small for good luck, Mother Earth and the unconditional love all the way up. With one final breath, Father Sky and the gratitude for everything and everyone, including the wonderfulness and the unpredictability of Mother Nature all the way down. When you're ready, please open your eyes. Take a moment to catch your breath, have a drink of water. For self-care, when we do this kind of work, we have to make sure that our energy is beautiful and expanded out. And if you feel the need right now to, detach from anything, any beings that we have contributed to today, please do that now. I have a little clearing that I use, which is from a modality that I often play with, and is about detaching the relationship from me. So feel free to do that. But just please know that you are beautiful and expanded. You're way, way, way beyond any of those people, places, beings, animals, flora and fauna. Because that's why we do the expanding out tool first. Okay? Please have some water. Maybe have a little bit of salt. That would be a good idea too. Because whenever we do energetic work, we use a lot of salt out of our system. Thank you, Tony, for being here. Thank you for contributing to the beautiful beings up in Queensland. Thank you, Judy. I'm really relaxed too. Oh dear. That's why I have no issues going to bed after I do the show. It's like, although sometimes I'm still a little bit hyped up because you guys' energy is pretty awesome. You guys give me heaps of energies. I love it. So anyway, I hope you all have an absolutely beautiful week to come. Please remember that you're going to have some nice, yummy energies flowing into your space on towards the end of next week. Get out there, enjoy that energy of like, moving through your body and just flow with it. Get those to-do lists working for you, and enjoy setting free the energies that you have been holding so dear to your heart. I adore you all. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being a part of Find You Fridays. I'm honestly so grateful for every single one of you, even the wobbly ones, because they just shine a light on how absolutely wonderful you all are. Thank you for being here. I adore you. Get out there, do something tasty for yourself over the weekend, and until next time, be bold, be brave, be you, my beautiful friends, and I'll see you next week. Bye-bye.